Test. What's going on, yo? What's going on? Let me know how we sounded. Let me know how we sounded. So this Friday is going to be interesting. We have a lot of charts doing retracements and reversals. So Fridays are usually days where we either see some pushes happen or some retracements and reversals. Obviously, right we see right here is we have some reversals taking place. Hold on one second. Let me get something out of here. All right, we back. But yeah, we got a lot of reversals taking place, right? So we go look at what price was at the beginning of the week. We broke this level here. We hit the highs that was at last time. And just like last time when we hit these levels, we had a reversal. We see price kind of doing the same thing. So it's already doing a pretty big move for today. So I'm probably going to leave GU alone for the day. I'm not going to try to force a setup there. GJ's rejected as well. We're kind of right back where we left off at the beginning of the week also. We are still technically bullish on here as long as we don't break past and hold 199.65 as support. But we have a lot of reversals taking place. Gold, we might potentially see another reversal retracement take place as well, especially after yesterday it failed to break and hold this level of support here at 36.62. We did the same move last night, and you can see it rejected that level. So we might see a reversal take place on gold as well. So I'm just going to pay attention to it. If we can maintain 36 support, I'm still going to look for buys. We also don't have any high impact news today. We had JPY news pop off last night, but as far as today in New York session, we got no high impact news. So we're simply waiting for volume and the confirmations to be met. So it looks like I'm going to be mainly just paying attention to US30 and NAS. These are still nice bullish momentum on the bigger time frames, but even these, as we can see, are doing retracements. So we're going to see how these retracements play out and see what this next 15 or 5 minute looks like. Go ahead and make sure, like the lives, you hop up in here, you're on subscribe, you're not subscribed already. We're almost at 3,000, 900 subscribers. We can get to that easily. But it's been a good week. It's been a good week. We're 5-1 this week, which is not bad at all. So if it does come to it, I'm completely fine with not taking the setup today. The last thing you want to do is force the setup to take a trade just to take a trade, especially if, again, your high quality setup's not showing, and especially if you're up for the week like we are, and ultimately up for the month. Yes, I don't really like how all these other charts are looking. So I'm really just going to pay attention to NAS and US30 to see how these play out right here. If you guys got any questions, drop in the chat. When looking at any charts, drop in the chat. But you already know the drill. We're just chilling, patiently waiting. I like that rejection right there. I'm gonna see how this candlestick closes right here, but I do like how this is looking right here. If we can maintain the whole 46,110 as support, we could look for the same buy setup we went for yesterday. Yeah, but I don't like anything else right now. I might pay attention to GJ going into New York session, but everything else, I'm just gonna let them do their thing. I'm mainly gonna be paying attention to the US30 NAS100 right here. Look at that rejection right there. Gold, we can also look for buys. We can break above and hold 36.62 as support. We can look for the same setup we caught on Wednesday, looking for buys going to 36.84. Yeah, but I was expecting US30 to reject that hard so quick, but we're going to see what the next 15 looks like because it's too far for entry right now anyway. So we got GJ pushing back above. Much rather wait for price to break back above 220 and hold that as support.
Discovery Houston Press to ATO.
New 5 minute about to pop up in a little bit. Yes, this would have been a nice entry. I wasn't expecting it to reject that hard, but it's all good. We'll just wait for another retest before we hop in that thing. Yeah, but I think so. This is not a terrible GBPJPY, but if y'all was in the live stream yesterday, this is one of those where it's like if we do not hold this level as support, we could possibly see a reversal come into play. This is like the last line of defense right here. Now, this isn't a terrible spot for a buy though, but I'd much rather have had like to have seen price hold this level. But we had the JPY news pop off yesterday, as we can see, 1147. We also had 230. We look at GJ. We can see right here, 1130, 1145, and then we had 2 a.m. news, which has been pushing the reversal and bearish momentum. So I'm very interested to see how price is not going to only play out right now, but going into New York session, because again, we don't have any high impact news or USD news going into New York session. So we're simply just going to go in for volume and our confirmations to be met. So US30 is pushing nicely. If it doesn't retest 46,110, if we can break back above and hold 46,215 as support, we can look for buys going to 46,300. NAS100, if we can break up and hold 24,500 as support, we can look for buys going to 26,610. Gold, we're going to be looking for buys here as well. If we can break up and hold 36.62 as support, we can look for buys going to 36.86. GU, I'm leaving alone today. I'm not going to trade GU today. And then GJ, you can look for buys here at 199.70. Going up to 220, but the safer buy setup would be if we could hold 220 as support, like we did Monday and Tuesday, and then look for buys going to 260. What's going on, Fitmon? I see you up in here. What's going on, my boy? Those just joined the stream. We have not into this trade yet. This is just a trade idea. Make sure to hit that first link in the description on free signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. Yesterday, really this entire week, but yesterday was crazy as well. Like yesterday was, let me turn this down. Sometimes stuff be sounding too loud on my end. But yesterday was literally textbook setups yesterday. So these are old signals. Nobody take these setups. And you can see here at 9:18, 10 minutes before the New York Open, I sent some screenshots. If y'all was in the live stream yesterday, before we even get to that, right? This is why I stick to my rules. If y'all was in the live stream yesterday, again, y'all know I like to wait for break and retest. GU broke this low, but not retest. But look what happened after the 7 a.m. GBP news. Price retraced and then retested this level. And then price retested the level again after the 8:30 news. We caught a nice move. Obviously, it didn't go do the full move it did during London session, but we still caught a almost 1.5 RR setup, which is still not bad. 101 is still good. Obviously, you want to go for 1 or 2 to 1 or 3s, but if we go into the free signal free, well, that's not the free signal free Telegram. We're going to free signal free Telegram. You can see that we only hit TP2. So it's 1 to 1 with only TP2 hits, not bad at all. By the way, y'all make sure to take advantage of the sale. All right. But let me break down what yesterday was looking like. So 10 minutes before New York Open, we sent the screenshot US30, looking for buys. Whoops. GJ was looking for price to break back above that level. Obviously, it did retest, but failed to break this high right here. And then gold obviously failed to hold that level as well, right? So gold, we can see, didn't move with some other London session, but it failed to hold this low as support, as we can see. Then it did the same move last night that it did yesterday, and then failed to hold the lower support as well. So we're going to be looking for the same setup we was talking about yesterday's live. Well, not yesterday's live. Well, if you was a member and student, yesterday's live, because we were live in the news yesterday. But we're going to be looking for buys to come back up to 36.86, 36.84. But US30, we talked about this in the TikTok live yesterday. Shout out to those in TikTok live. Make sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I see that scroll at the bottom of the screen. Instagram, playmaker_weight, TikTok _playmaker_weight_. But again, this is why you don't chase price before the flow of price, because when we go into the bigger time frame, even prior to US30 doing this right here, right, we was bullish, right? That's why I always talk about go with the flow of price, not chase price, and why in my trade breakdowns I'm always talking about identify the trend on the bigger time frame. Because imagine if you would have did what most people do, which is try to identify the trend, look for setups on the same time frame, looking for entries on. You would have thought sales going into 9:30 New York Open. So what would have happened if you would have went for sales going to 9:30 New York Open? You would have fell from another quote unquote fake out liquidity sweep, right? And even if you missed this move, it literally retraced, retested at 11:45, 12 o'clock, and then did the same exact move twice, right? NAS100 did the same thing, but it kind of did what US30 did, where as soon as it tapped the level, that thing shot to the upside. That's kind of like what US30 is doing right now. We was looking for this setup, but as you can see, it literally tapped it, then rejected up. So we didn't really get too much of a retest, but it is all good. We still got plenty of other setups we can look for. But yeah, I'm mainly going to be paying attention to gold, US30, and GJ, and NAS. Switch this over. Yeah, but this would have been a nice move. But one thing I do, and what y'all should start doing, let's say you was looking at the US30 setup and you missed that setup. Instead of FOMOing in, still just watch to see how the trade played out and use that as more confidence, not cockiness, but confidence for your next setup that meets your confirmations. Because at least I know my projection was correct, right? I might have missed that setup, but at least I know my projection was correct. So if I did go off that setup, I would have made some bread. So now the next time that setup plays out and my confirmations are met, I'm gonna have a lot more confidence to take that trade, right? Because again, if I know that we have a high win rate strategy, which we do, right? That's how we did last quarter. If I'm risking the same amount every single trade to make sure my winners are small, my winners are bigger than my losses, and my losses are smaller than my winners, and consistent, literally it's just simple math. You're going to be up at the end of the week, end of the month, right? Which is why, again, if y'all was in what you call it, Wednesday's live stream, we saw a perfect example of that, right? We took a NAS100 live, and then we took a GU buy and GUW live, and then when FOMC popped off, look what price did it. We pushed it upside, right? So if you have not checked out the How to Trade News playlist, definitely make sure to do that. And members of News, definitely make sure to watch yesterday's recording of the New York Live, because we had some good questions asked. We had a good conversation going. Yeah, definitely want to check that out. So we're about to see what this next 15 looks like. This is a nice push right here, though. Right there, Y'all got any plans for the weekend? What y'all got going on? That'd be a nice setup right there. And again, y'all, if you missed the setup, the last thing you want to do is FOMO in. You just got to take that out. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, you're not really making or losing any money unless you're in a trade. So you just got to let it play out. You know what I mean? New 15 just popped up. DJ's looking like a nice setup right there. Nice retest here. So I'm looking to see this take place right here. That's what we're looking for. So yeah, like I said, I'm not going to take this position here. I'm much rather wait for this position. But I am still curious to see how this plays out right here. Again, I only want to go for high probability, high quality setups, A plus setups. I don't want to take B setups, C plus setups, D minus setups. I only want to take high probability, high quality setups. So even if a B plus, C plus, or D minus setup does play out, that's completely fine because again, I do not want to build or rebuild the habits of just going for anything and everything, right? I'm picky with my setups, I have standards for my setups, and y'all should as well. And again, y'all need to build that muscle of being completely fine with missing quote unquote big moves or candlesticks, right? What's going on, y'all? What's going on? Those just joined the live. We have not entered anything yet. These are just trade ideas. Make sure to hit that first link in the description. Join a free Signal, free Telegram. Y'all see on your screens how we did last month and last quarter. Go ahead and hit that first link and check it out for yourselves. So we did miss this US30 entry. It rejected a little bit harder than I was anticipating. I was looking for this one just to close up here, but it ended up rejecting all the way up here. And then the new candlestick started here. So obviously, I'm not going to go from a 1 to 2 RR and then FOMO and go for this. Now, obviously, if it does a full move, it'd still be a decent ratio setup. But again, I just want to stick to my deal rules, right? Because again, we've all had this happen before, right? Where we see a setup, We know where we want to enter at, but because we see price moving or leaving us, or we think price is about to leave us, we enter late or at an area where we didn't want to enter at. And then next thing you know, price ends up retracing right where you wanted to ideally enter at. All right. So it's just the patience game, y'all. It's just the patience game. Like I said, we're up for the week. So even if we don't take a seller today, I'm completely fine with that. Because again, GU, I'm not messing with GU unless we have some crazy volume kicking going into New York session. GJ's in reversible territory at risk going into reversal territory. So we're mainly going to be paying attention to gold, NAS100, and US30. Right. So with gold, we're going to be looking for the setup we was looking for during New York session yesterday. If we can break above and hold 3660, 3662 as support, we're going to be looking for buys going to 3684. Same setup we went for and when that's projected going into New York session on Wednesday. But if we fail to do that and we break below 3636 and hold as resistance, we could possibly see a reversal take place to 3612. Now that doesn't mean I'm going to take that reversal because y'all know I don't reversal trade. But we need to see this maintain and be held. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When we look at your charts, drop them in the chat. Got a new 5 minute about to pop up in a little bit. Make sure to explore the playlist. All playlists are up to date. And I've been working on a new posting schedule. That's what I've been working on behind the scenes as well this week. So I'm not gonna say too much, but I'm gonna have a certain posting schedule, especially rolling into next month. I got a few things I'm working on. Members and students of Plymouth University already know I'm gonna be recording and adding more detail and more sections to the lessons, as well as going over more things. But I also kind of want to have a system for the videos, because right now the videos I mean the videos I drop on YouTube stuff with purpose, but I kind of want to have it look more organized, so like on certain days y'all can kind of know what type of video I'm going to be posting on YouTube or something like that. So that's what I'm going to be working on this weekend, like a schedule. I'm going to have certain days dedicated for like certain things, like certain days for stock videos, crypto, certain days for trade breakdowns, day trading tips, trading psychology. I'm gonna start doing that on a weekly basis, just to switch things up and also like keep it a little bit more engaging and not be too repetitive with the videos. I know y'all still be enjoying the trade breakdowns and other videos I drop as well, but you just gotta keep on trying new things and switching it up. Make sure to like the live as y'all hop up in here and subscribe if you're not subscribed already. So, we're gonna see what happens. Again, we don't got any news going into New York session, so we're just waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. So US30 still pushing. So we're gonna see how NAS and US30 react to this next zone here. U15 about to pop up. And, we're gonna be on for a little bit longer. If you guys got any questions, drop them in the chat. When I'm looking at your charts, drop them in the chat. What's going on, Vi? I haven't seen you in a minute, or at least seen a comment from you in a minute. What's going on with you? You said, have you looked at GE yet? My bad, I just joined the live. I just got it. It's all good. It's all good. Hopefully, work wasn't too bad. It's the weekend. I don't know if you work on the weekend or not. Shout out to those that work on the weekend. Yeah, we can take a look at GU. So GU ended up doing a fat reversal. It did what we was talking about yesterday and on third. Yesterday was Thursday, and Wednesday. But what I was looking for was not just a retracement, but for price to maintain in terms of go into support. Obviously, we failed to do so. All right, we can see the volume came in at 9:30 and through that, then we consolidated. And then last night, price rejected. So we're in reversal territory. So GU, I'm personally not trading now. Since the reversed so hard, you could look for short-term sales from 3,500 going down to 3,470. But I don't really like to go for reversal setups, and I'm not going to go for it. I'm personally going to leave GU alone for today because it did that fat reversal. Personally, I'm just going to see what it looks like. And it might do something different going into New York session, but if we maintain and stay below 35.25 and hold that as resistance, I'm bearish on the day. I'm just going to leave it alone. But if we break back above and hold 35.75 as support, I'm going to look for buys like we did earlier this week at this level. All right, so really just going to be watching, see how price reacts to this level here. So if it tries to push back up, which I have a feeling it might try to do, if it rejects that level, I'm leaving it alone. But you could possibly see sales going to the downside. But if we break back above this level and hold it back as support, we can look for the buys we caught last week going into this week. Right, because this is also where we went for buys last Monday or 2 Mondays ago. I don't even know. I don't know, I'm terrible with dates. But yeah, that's what's going on with GU. As far as what I'm looking for today, though, I'm going to be paying attention to gold, NAS, and US30, possibly GJ. This US30 setup, we was looking for one that's projected. I just wasn't anticipating as hard as a rejection off this candlestick. I was waiting for it to close here and then look for the next 15 to open. But as you can see, it just rejected and took off. So it is what it is. It's doing the same loop we talked about and went for it yesterday. So from this point, if we can either retrace and come back to 46,110 and hold that support, we could look for buys going to 46,220. And if we go 46,220 as support, we could look for continued buys going up to the all-time highs. And then NAS100, we're going to be looking for buys as well. We're either going to look for a price to retest like yesterday and maintain 24,400 as support, or if we can break above and hold 24,500 as support, we can look for buys going back up to the high at 24,610. Again, they're extremely bullish on these. These are the only ones that aren't showing super bearish momentum reversals. And then gold, we're going to be looking for buys as well. So we can break above and hold 3660 as support. We're going to be looking for buys going to 3684. So I'm really paying attention and leaning toward gold and obviously US30, but I missed the US30 setup. So I'm going to be focusing on gold mainly and then NAS US30 as well. So that's the main thing we'll be looking at. Of course, if something changes between now and New York session, I'm going to give that update to the members and students, because if y'all was in yesterday's live, I told y'all that I was only going to be paying attention to what GU and GJ. But after the news played out and the New York price washes, as well as what I showed earlier in the live stream, we obviously looked at it, went for US30 and NAS setups as well. I would have called the US30 setup yesterday, but kind of same thing with this. It exploded a little bit too hard off the candlestick close, right? We had the candlestick close and we had the retest, but the price exploded. Just like the US30 setup we took, what was it, Wednesday? This day right here, right? We took a US30 setup on, it was Tuesday. Damn, that was Tuesday. Same thing kind of happened with Tuesday, right? It did move super quick, right? You can see here 920, 925, 930, and the price rejected. But versus yesterday, you can see here again. This is why you don't chase price, follow the flow of price, because I bet you a bunch of people were looking for sells on US30 yesterday, especially after the price broke below here at 930 open. But look what price did going into 10 a.m. on the dot, right? So literally as soon as the 9:45 candlestick close at 10 a.m. once started, you can literally see our price rip to the upside and literally didn't retrace. We're on a 5-minute time frame, so that thing literally shot up 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, like 30 minutes straight. It's crazy stuff. Then we had an actual retrace retest going into 12 o'clock to repeat and do the same exact move. So right now we're looking to see if we can break back above and maintain 4620, 4625 as support. There's no high impact news today going into New York session, so we're simply just waiting for volume and our confirmations to be met. And then GJ, I'm leaving alone. I'm not really going to go for GJ unless we can break back above a whole 220 as support. Then we can look for buys going to 260. I'm not really saying anything. We had a reversal take place last night. We had not GBP news, we had JPY news pop off, cost rejection. But we are still bullish. If we can maintain this low as support, but if we break, we start pushing down, we're kind of in reversal territory, which will put us in the same situation GU's in. So I'm really just watching so we can maintain the low. And again, I have this buy idea, but I'm really not going to take this setup. It's going to be like a shadow setup. Not even a paper trade, it's just a shadow setup. But I'm really looking for price to maintain this level like it was earlier at the beginning of the week, Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday, right? All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and wrap this up, y'all. Shout out to everybody in the live. Shout out to everybody who's been live since the beginning. Shout out to everybody who's been live since y'all joined. Again, take advantage of the sale we got going on. 40% off Playmaker University, 20% off one-on-one sessions, Advanced Play Signal Room. That includes the monthly, yearly, and lifetime. If you guys got any questions about that, like always, you deal with Instagram, Telegram, or TikTok. Going to be still on the charts, but y'all know how it is. It's early over here, late, however you want to call it. I'm about to hop back in bed and chill and see what these charts are going to be doing. Got some new posts for Instagram and TikTok lined up for y'all today as well. Make sure to catch up to those as well as the videos on YouTube. All playlists are up to date. And yeah, shout out to the playmakers, y'all. We're going to see what the market's got for us.